MVP already. Now, let me not take it too far, but it's another example of how quick and fast Nike is with their marketing. Perfect. Shedeur is the perfect athlete to work with. He's unique. He sticks to himself and his family for the most part. He's marketable. He's charismatic. He smiles. All of the above. And Nike is so quick with the timing. They say only a matter of time. Come on, man. I told y'all.
Arch Manning just snapped. The so-called golden boy thought the spotlight was all his, but Nike just flipped the script and crowned Shedeur Sanders with a monster contract that feels like history in the making. Now Arch is pacing like somebody just cut the Wi-Fi and left him stranded. This isn't jealousy. This is a meltdown for the record books. How did Shedeur steal the crown? And why is Arch out here looking like someone just snatched his lunch tray? Oh, it gets messy fast. If you're rocking with this, hit that subscribe button. It keeps the fire going.
Obviously, you don't want to start off the season 0-1. They're a good team, but I thought we beat ourselves a lot, and that starts with me, and I got to play better for us to win. Can't wait till the second half to kind of get things going. Yeah, it didn't start fast enough. Took a whole half for us to kind of even get the ball down the field. So that starts with me. Got to get back to square one and get back Monday and go prepare for San Jose State.
Nike didn't just hand Shedeur Sanders a deal. They gave him the royal treatment. They laid out a red carpet, showered it in glitter, and basically said, "Welcome to the kingdom, young king." The man hasn't even touched down in the league yet, and he's already staring at a contract so fat it could make NFL vets rethink every single choice they ever made. This ain't just a paycheck, it's the whole vault. Shedeur didn't just secure the bag, he straight up hijacked the armored truck and rode off smiling. Meanwhile in Texas, Arch Manning's looking around like the party started without him. Analysts keep hyping him up as the chosen one. Destiny, bloodline, family legacy.
I give to a lot of receivers the prime DT96s. You know, a couple of them had them on. So I just give to a couple of like the main receivers going into this game. You know, I give to them some cleats. Some won, some didn't. But I was like, okay, this is just my little appreciation to give to them. Because they don't be having a lot in stock. So I couldn't do everybody.
But destiny don't come with commas and zeros on a check. Nike doesn't care about family trees. They wanted the fresh king who can break the internet with every throw. And that's Shedeur Sanders, the kid who turns every single snap into a movie scene. Highlight reel ready, complete with theme music blasting in the background. Arch might have that old school hype machine behind him, but hype don't pay the bills. The talk is cheap, and Nike just proved it by throwing their weight behind Shedeur Sanders in a way that flips the whole culture on its head. This ain't just an endorsement, it's a cultural earthquake, shaking the NFL to its core. The wild part?
I'll tell you this right now. All you fans out there, NFL fans, especially if you Brown fans, go get that 1-2 jersey. And I'm not talking about Tom Brady. I'm talking about Shedeur Sanders. Because if y'all know this now, you're going to know it soon. He's going to be the starter day one. He's the best one in the room. Listen, if you're in Ohio and you don't have Myles Garrett's jersey, you don't have Jamar Chase jersey, if you don't have Joe Burrow's jersey, if you don't have Spidey Mitchell's jersey, it's one jersey you better have then. And that's Shedeur Action Sanders.
Arch is out here carrying the Manning name like it's a golden ticket, but the league doesn't want another Manning clone. The NFL wants a game changer, somebody who can own Sundays on the field and own Mondays online when the clips go viral. Now imagine being a veteran who's bled for this league for 10 years just to realize a rookie is walking in with more guaranteed cash than you ever touched in 3 contracts combined. That's not just pressure, it's straight up humiliation with a side of salt. And Shedeur? He's not sweating it. He's probably sitting back in his shades, cool as ice, knowing the league is already bending to his shadow before he's even called his first huddle.
What I just said about the shoe opportunity that could present itself for Nike, who's a Nike school. And the reason I say Nike is because it's a Nike school. They don't want another brand with the kid wearing them on field, but they get him head to toe, okay? Not just off the field. They can get him head to toe with a signature shoe. If he had that right now, and you mentioned record-breaking Colorado State, Skip, how many eyeballs would have seen that, what did you call it, Michael? Number 2, prime 2 or something?
Meanwhile, Arch is still nodding along to those analysts dusting off his high school highlights like that proves something. But money talks louder than hype, and right now Shadow is cashing checks while Arch is still chasing clout. For years, folks acted like the Manning family was untouchable, NFL royalty written in stone, but royalty just got snatched off the throne before Arch could even grab the crown. The hype machine wasn't enough to launch him into greatness, while Shadow flipped hype into history and signed the kind of rookie deal that makes legends jealous. Shadow isn't just the king of the hill. He's out here building a whole new mountain, while Arch is still standing around waiting for someone to hand him the crown. And here's the part that burns the doubters the most. Shadow earned every inch of this shine. He didn't cruise on a last name.
Got on the field. You watching the game, Chad. There's a lot of Shedeur Sanders fans. What did you think of his first outing?
Listen, all the talk and the narratives and the storylines and whatever you want to say, sooner or later that ball's about to snap. And that young man we watched in Colorado, who's one of the best football players in the nation, is now looking like one of the best football players in the nation at another level. That's what it was. I knew the collusion and all the stuff, like I said, you want to go through. You saw what Shedeur Sanders was capable of. We all knew what Shedeur Sanders was capable of, and he's going to show.
He didn't coast off some family legacy. He clawed his way through the noise, through the critics who swore he wasn't built for the big stage, and he turned every doubt into jet fuel. Every touchdown, every laser throw, every moment when the pressure was at its peak, he stacked receipts in real time. Nike saw it, the league recognized it, and now everybody knows this ain't luck. It's destiny in motion. Now picture draft night, Arch Manning sitting there in his perfect suit, polished grin, expecting the spotlight to bow to him. But instead, every camera, every lens, every eye in the building swings to Shadow. He's walking in with Nike already anointing him as the face of a brand new era. The lights don't just follow him, they orbit him like he's got his own gravity.
Shedeur Sanders just made him millions of dollars. Let's talk about it. Shedeur Sanders officially signs a 4-year, $4.6 million rookie. The thing about the truth, man, it's always going to come out, man. If it's not coming from you, somebody's going to see the work you're putting in, and they are going to showcase it to the world, and that's exactly what's happened to Shedeur Sanders behind the scenes throughout his whole rookie training camp. Like, look at these reports. The coaches were reportedly shocked at his precision and accuracy with the short time they had with him at rookie training camp. Sanders was reportedly throwing what a 10-year veteran touch.
The NFL lives off stars who can light up the stadium and set social media on fire, and Shadow checks every single box. He's not just marketable, he's magnetic. The kind of player you tune in to watch even if you couldn't care less about the team. The one who makes sponsors drool, network scheme, and defensive coordinators lose sleep at night. Arch can still cling to the hope that analysts will talk him into greatness, but let's keep it real. Analysts don't throw touchdowns, they don't stare down blitzes, and they sure don't posterize defenders. Shadow does. And when the season kicks off, no one's going to be asking how Arch feels about it. They'll already be watching Shadow rewrite the script. Fans won't even be checking for Arch.
For both of us. I was in the hospital the last time. I missed, I think, 3 games. But this time I'm well. Me going out there taking that walk and him taking that walk and he know I'm not there. That's different. That's different for him. So, but he's so prepared right now. A lot of people are approaching it like a preseason game. He's approaching it like a game. And that's how he's always approached everything, to prepare and to approach it like this is it. He's thankful and appreciative.
They'll be too busy watching Shadow turn Sundays into primetime blockbusters. This Nike deal didn't just crown him, it rewired the whole NFL blueprint. Rookies are supposed to come in quiet, prove themselves, and then get the bag. But Shadow, he's breaking traditions before he's even broken a sweat in the pros. That's not luck, that's poetry in motion, and Shadow's spitting bars with every move. He's not waiting for permission, he's not begging for a seat, he dragged his own chair to the table and told everybody else to adjust. Nike didn't see just another prospect. They saw the future.
About Shedeur dropping, because they passed on him.
They tried to humble him. But I don't know why you trying to humble a rich kid. It didn't matter what you paid Shedeur. He was already rich. He made a crap ton of money from college. His daddy is Deion Sanders. What are you saying? Okay, go prove yourself. Didn't Cleveland get him?
Yeah.
Oh, why do Cleveland always get the good quarterbacks?
Do they?
I think you're the first person who's ever.
And maybe, just maybe, that's the bitter pill Arch and his camp can't swallow. Because the NFL ain't a family reunion. It's not about nostalgia or recycling last names. It's about who can carry the league forward, who can light up screens, and who can sell hope to millions of fans starving for a savior. And right now, that's Shedeur Sanders. He's the one networks can't take their eyes off of. The one sponsors chase like he's holding the last golden ticket. The one defenses dread even thinking about. So while Arch Manning is still practicing his someday I'll be great speech, Shedeur is already cashing checks, shifting culture, and rewriting history as the most paid rookie this league has ever seen. And here's the punchline. It all happened before his first official snap. That's not hype. That's dominance before kickoff. Nike didn't just sign a quarterback, they signed a revolution. Shedeur treats practice like war, every rep like it's the Super Bowl.
Last night, I'm rooting for him to succeed in the NFL, but this is a little too much here, right? This is just a little too much. Last night after the game, Nike drops an ad, only a matter of time with the caption, when you get your opportunity, create your next one.
So to compare this kid, Arch Manning, to Shedeur Sanders and what he had at Colorado, is flat out just.
While Arch is still chilling in his bubble, analysts spoon-feeding him praise like it's baby food. They keep telling Arch he's ready to take over, but truthfully, it's like watching somebody rehearse for a play that already got canceled. Meanwhile, Shedeur isn't waiting for a script. He's writing the whole production in real time. Cameras rolling, Nike front and center, check signed, spotlight blazing. And instead of turning into some diva, he just straps the helmet tighter and gets back to work. That's the nightmare fuel, because when someone that rich still acts hungry, the league has no idea what's about to smack them in the face. Picture the scene. Shedeur walks into training camp cool as ice, shades on, deal locked in. But the second practice starts, none of that matters. He doesn't carry himself like the guy with the bag. He plays like a man who hasn't even been given his respect yet. He's not blinded by the flashing lights or distracted by endorsement cameras. He's locked in, laser focused, like he knows greatness doesn't stop once the ink dries. And across the field, Arch is starting to look more like a cautionary tale, living proof of what happens when you believe your own press clippings too much. Shedeur doesn't need hype men. His game is the hype. Every tight spiral, every scramble, every throw under pressure, it all reminds the NFL exactly why Nike crowned him their guy. And here's the coldest part, he's still not satisfied. He could coast right now, cash checks, shoot commercials, and people would still call him a success. But instead, he's grinding harder than ever, determined to make sure nobody ever questions why he got that deal. That's not just impressive, it's flat out terrifying for every quarterback still trying to prove they belong. Imagine being a veteran quarterback in your 10th season. Broken ribs, frozen shoulders, bruises stacked up like battle scars, then waking up to see the headlines.
He stunk up the joint. Yes, he stunk up the joint. Whether it was bad coaching, bad plays, nerves, whatever the case may be, he stunk. He sure did. But the grace that was given to him, because this was his first starting game, right? Not only that, what else were they saying? Oh, he didn't do bad, or nobody expecting him to win against Ohio State. Miss me with all of that, because we know my nephew, I'm talking about Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur didn't have a whack.
Some rookie who hasn't even taken his first snap just became the highest paid in NFL history, and the wildest twist, Shedeur doesn't even act cocky about it. He keeps his head low, straps up, and goes even harder. That alone is enough to make vets question everything. Here's the scary part. If Shedeur ever slipped, if he ever looked shaky, the hype would collapse faster than a card tower in a hurricane. But instead of folding, he thrives. The spotlight hits him, the pressure builds, and while most rookies would crack under that kind of weight, Shedeur shrugs it off like it's light work. Every doubter becomes fuel. Every defense becomes target practice. Every critic just another voice he silences with his game. Nike didn't just sign a quarterback, they signed a warrior. A kid who thrives in chaos, who treats pressure like oxygen, and who turns every doubt into domination. That's why this deal feels bigger than money. It feels like the start of a takeover. And then you look at Arch Manning, The irony couldn't be sharper. While Shadow is stacking checks and sweating it out in the grind, Arch is still out here waiting for validation like it's supposed to fall in his lap. He leans on analysts, on the Manning legacy, on fans hyping up his name. But hype don't win games and legacy don't sign checks. This is Shadow's story now, and Arch is stuck watching from the sidelines.
The best quarterback out of this draft. Watch his response every time he came out the field and how he got with the offensive linemen, how he got with the running backs, how he got with the receivers. And he just ran the show. He has the demeanor to be an NFL football player. And I'm telling you,
I called him the most pro-ready quarterback since Andrew Luck, and people get fixated on that. But let me explain what pro-ready means in my eyes. We're talking about touch timing, anticipation, battle-tested, took over 2 downtrodden programs at Jackson State, didn't lose a conference game there, goes to Colorado. They hadn't won a game the previous year, or one game, I believe, and then they go 4-8 his first year, and they were in a lot of games, one-score games, but defense failed them late. And then this year they go 9.
Meanwhile, the league has already changed the channel. Nobody's slowing down the clock. Nobody's hitting pause, so Arch can catch up. Shadow is already pushing the whole narrative forward, and every time he steps on the field, that gap between him and Arch just keeps getting wider. And here's the wild part. Shadow doesn't even flinch. He's not checking the competition. He's not looking left or right. He's locked in, eyes forward, like this was always the plan. Here's the truth that nobody wants to say out loud. Arch Manning can ride all the hype in the world, but Shedeur Sanders already owns the reality. He's got the money, the discipline, and the hunger to make sure this isn't just a one-season headline. It's the start of a whole new era. Arch is still stuck trying to convince people he belongs, while Shadow is too busy proving he's already arrived. He'll keep his head down, he'll keep grinding, and he'll keep stacking wins until there's no debate left to have. And those millions from Nike? That's just background noise to a guy chasing something bigger than a paycheck. He's chasing legacy. Not the kind of legacy handed down from a family tree, but the kind you earn with blood, sweat, and storming the league so hard they can't ignore you. When the dust finally settles, the world will look back at this exact moment and realize one thing. This wasn't hype. This was the coronation of a new king. By the time Arch finally figures out what's happening, it'll already be too late. The torch isn't being handed down, it's being snatched right out of his hands. Shedeur Sanders didn't just step into the spotlight, he dragged the whole stage with him. And every throw, every headline, every Nike billboard just widens the gap until Arch's hype looks like yesterday's news. The NFL doesn't wait for nostalgia. It doesn't care about family legacies or last names etched in history books. It cares about who can own the moment right now. And Shadow is that moment. He's the storm ripping through the league before his first snap even counts in the record books. Arch was supposed to be the next chapter, the golden boy who carried on the Manning saga. But stories change fast, and right now Shadow's rewriting the script in real time. The spotlight doesn't share, it picks favorites, and it already picked him. So while Arch is left clinging to hype clips and family expectations, Shedeur Sanders is building something untouchable. An empire, a movement, a legacy that doesn't need a famous last name to validate it. By the time the dust settles, everyone will remember this as the season Arch got overshadowed and Shadow became unstoppable. There was never a comparison. There was only Shedeur Sanders, the one who flipped the script, rewrote the rules, and changed the game while everybody else was still scrambling to catch up. The league thought it was getting another rookie. Instead, it got a revolution in shoulder pads. And as Arch Manning keeps chasing shadows of family legacy, Shadow is already out here carving a legacy of his own, louder, sharper, and untouchable. This isn't hype anymore. It's history being made in real time. If you're rocking with this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, because trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. See you on the next one.